Understand the notion of parallel with vectors, or would you like me to explain that?
So basically what it is parallel lines, obviously they don't meet, so there's going to be like two lines, and then since it gives us, so it's going to be, the line is going to be a minus 3b, right?
Oh, say that one more time.
So parallel lines is two lines which doesn't meet.
Yeah.
So like obviously one of the lines is going to be a minus 3b.
Yes.
So if you're going to work out a, is it like I'm not sure.
Okay. So the idea of parallels, you said yes, they never meet, but more importantly, it's a slight difference of what we're saying here. The two lines are going in exactly the same direction.
Yeah.
So one line can be a lot longer than the other, but the point is they go in exactly the same direction. Because vectors rely on two things. You need to know the magnitude and direction, right? It's a quantity with
Directly,
both of
yeah.
those things. Now, to show that two lines are parallel, they need to have the same direction. What does that actually mean? Well, it means that they're going to be a multiple of the same thing. So to determine whether a vector will be parallel to the vector a minus 3b, we've got to
Oh
basically
wait,
ask ourselves, is it a multiple
think
of a minus 3b?
wait, I think I get it now. So obviously the Gauss vector, which is a minus 3b, right? So then question A is times 2 of that, a minus 3b.
Exactly. So we can make that very, very explicit by rewriting it as this. Factorizing out the 2, we have a 2 outside, and we're left with a minus 3b on the inside. And then we can clearly
Oh,
see it's
so that's how you write it down.
yes. And we can say this is a multiple of a minus 3b. Therefore, that three dots, it means, the three dots there means therefore.
Yep.
Therefore, it is parallel to a minus 3b. That's kind of like the idea, the reasoning there.
Okay,
Makes
okay.
sense? So then how would we go about doing B?
So B is going to be 4 on the outside, brackets a minus 3b.
Indeed.
And C is going to be C is my no. Would C, like, does it always have to be in brackets?
Well, let's just look back at the question again. What does the question actually ask us to do?
State the reason whether each of these vectors is parallel to the vectors. Oh, so we're just like saying if it's parallel or not. So C is not a parallel because it's going the opposite direction.
It's not necessarily the opposite direction, but it says a plus 3b. A plus 3b is not a multiple of a minus 3b.
Yeah.
Yep. So we'd say this is not a multiple of a minus 3b. Therefore, it is not
A parallel.
parallel to a minus 3b.
Yeah.
So that being said, then, how do we go about doing maybe D? What's the deal with that one?
D is parallel because it's just obviously it's like arranged in a different order, but it's the same like numbers. Oh no, my bad. I didn't see properly. Yeah, D is not a parallel again.
Why'd you say that?
And it's because obviously 3b is positive and a is minus. Wait, let me rethink.
Okay.
Oh wait, it is parallel because obviously we know a is our like line, and then obviously like the direction is just the opposite, and then it's still the same, but then just like obviously like in a different way. So it is parallel.
Okay. And if we wanted to make it explicit using our factorization technique, what can we factorize?
We could factorize. Can we factorize in this?
Yeah. You might not. It might not be something that you'd think to factorize because it doesn't seem like it would be useful. But in this case, it would be useful to factorize out this number.
Maybe we can do minus bracket 3b minus a.
Nearly. So minus, yes. But if we take out the
And then,
minus,
yeah,
would
bracket, so it's going to be 3b minus a.
well, if in the question it was already 3b and you've now taken out a minus, what does a 3b now become?
Minus 3b.
That's it, minus 3b, because minus 3b times the minus on the outside of the
It's going to
minus
be
1.
positive.
That's it.
And then minus a.
Well, what does the minus a become now?
Oh yeah, the minus a obviously is going to be positive.
Now becomes plus, so it's plus a. And just to make that extra clear, we can write that as minus bracket a minus 3b. We can just swap those two things around.
Yep.
And just to be even clearer, I'm just going to put a little 1, even though you probably wouldn't put 1 normally, but just to show that there is
Yeah.
like a factor out there. And again, we can say this is a multiple of a minus 3b. It didn't look like it initially, but it is. So therefore,
Yep.
it is parallel. Okay. Next one.
9b minus 3a. It is parallel.
Why is that?
Obviously, if you do the real like factorization, you can do minus 3a outside.
Minus 3a, did you say?
Yep.
Like this?
Oh no, I mean my bad. Minus 3. That's what I
Yep.
meant.
It's all good.
And then it's going to be 3b inside minus a. And if you like expand it, obviously it's going to be
3b, did you say?
minus
Did you say 3b in the
minus.
bracket?
Yeah, like what I mean is like if you expand the bracket, obviously it's going to come as minus 9b plus 3a.
Okay, so if you expand that, that becomes minus 9b
Yeah,
plus
9b plus
3a. But is
3a.
that what we had initially?
Yeah, but it's just like obviously it's the other way around.
Well, the fact that this doesn't expand to the question means that we haven't factorized it correctly. So the idea to factorize was good. So it's good that you factorized. And the fact that you took out minus 3, again, is good. We just need to be careful with what goes inside the bracket, though.
Oh, okay.
So if we've taken out minus 3, remember, each term now needs to be divided by minus 3. So let me ask you the question. What is 9b divided by minus 3?
Minus 3b
Right, so it's minus 3b. And then for the next term, minus 3a divided by minus 3.
plus a.
That's it. And that's a bit more explicit. And that's minus 3 lots of a minus 3b. So again, it's a multiple of a minus 3b. So yes, it is parallel. Make sense?
Perfect. Yep.
Awesome. And we've got one more to do. Ooh.
It's, let me think. It is parallel
Why do you say that?
because it's half. So A is half. Oh wait, it's not parallel because obviously we can see the B section is different. So it's 2/3, which is like it won't add up because obviously A part is half of 1, for example. So 0.5, and then like 3B is, even if you half it, it's going to be 1.5. So this is 2/3, which is like 0.7 or something. So obviously, if you like half the line, it's not going to give you the correct number.
Yeah, so we can understand. So yeah, so the 2/3 is 0.6 recurring. But yes, you got the right idea. So if you take A minus 3B and divide that by 2,
2.
that equals a half A minus 3/2B. And we know that a half A minus 3/2B is not equal. This is the symbol for not equal.
Yeah.
Not equal to a half A, or it's not identical, should I say, to a half A. So that's the symbol for not identical to a half A minus 2/3 B. And yeah, simply because of that. So we know it's not a multiple. Therefore, we can say that a half A minus 2/3 B is not a multiple of blah, blah, blah. It's not a multiple of A minus 3B.
Yeah.
Therefore, not parallel. And that's how those ones work. That was quite a tricky one, the last one. But yeah, same concept though still.
So